I'm going to go into a work order ticket. Here I am. I'm the dispatcher. I get a call, right, from my customer. And so I'm just going to find whoever my customer is. Let's just say in this case it's the Board of Education. We'll say broken camera. And I can associate things with the job if I want to. Otherwise, I don't have to. I can just leave this blank and just associate with the customer and the location of that customer. So if I have multiple facilities and I want to specify which facility, I can select it here. So by hitting this drop-down arrow here, this gives me all my list of customers. I've also broken them down into different types as well, so I can also search that way. So here I can click on the name and I can find my customer here by typing in this box, and it'll find best fit. Here I have the different locations. So now in this particular example, I only have one location, but I can have as many different location addresses and specific contact individuals for each of those locations as well. Then you have what type of the status of that work order. So anytime you start a new work order, it's always going to be a status 7 of work order. When your technician marks it as complete, then obviously it's going to be completed or en route, or it's part of contract work if you have a maintenance contract, etc. And then the type of work order this is. So this is a custom list that you can create, and then you can assign colors so that, you can easily tell based on the color of the ticket when you're dispatching it, what type of call this is. Okay, so it pulls the address information from the location that I picked. If I had a contact name and a phone number, it would pull automatically. Otherwise, I can enter this information in. So maybe this is John Smith, and this is his phone number. Okay. Service area, again, this is information that I set up. So if I had different service areas that I wanted to keep track of, so in this case, they have north, south, east, west, and midtown. You don't have to use that information. You also have map information too. This was geared more towards back in the days when you actually used a Thomas Brothers map. You could provide that information in there. You don't have to use this, obviously. And you have two custom fields that you can use for whatever you want. So once I put the basic information of this work order ticket, now I save it. And if I go to the dispatch board, so this is my dashboard. Here I've got all my technicians up at the top, their names listed up at the top. And then I also have all of my work order tickets. You'll see here, this is my work order ticket, right? So now what I can do is I can assign this to one of my technicians. So let's say I'm going to assign this to Brandon, and he's going to do that at 1 p.m. And I estimate it's going to take a couple hours for him to be able to do this particular work order ticket. Okay, so now once I pull this over and assign this to Brandon, it's going to alert him on his application that he has a new work order ticket assigned to him for this time. Leilani, do you have that pulled up so you can kind of show what that looks like from their end?
So I'm plugged into a different environment than the database that Olivia has, but it's the same idea. It's the same. So this web application would speak to the accounting system that she was using. This is a different aspect of the dispatch board on this end. What the technician would see is his actual assignments. So you're looking at the entire dispatch board here, but the view of what it looks like on the assignment side looks like this. So you have all of your assignment, everything that's been dropped on your calendar for that particular day. So you can look ahead, and then you can actually pop into these items to see notes and other details about the assignment. Okay, So here, traveling to, so I'm going to start. As you can see, these are all the different things that you can update as a technician in the field. So you have customer viewable note section, you have a section internally for your back office, and then you can have the system automatically send email notifications to managers with these notes. You can also add assignment information, so your hours, how many hours. If you have talk to text function on your phone, you can use that, so it would allow you to easily put in all of your notes here. And then what you can do is you can add labor time. Maybe you have more than one person here. Started at 12 here for 4 hours. You have the pay types that you can choose and your pay group, other comments. If you were working on any equipment, you could add that here as well. Okay, so save that. So that's been added. You can also pull in parts and inventory from your accounting system. So you can go ahead and add anything there that needs to be added, and then you save that. Then when you go to attachments, you have the capability to add photos from your camera roll or your library on the phone, so you could take photos of the actual items or equipment that you're installing. You are able to also do sketches on that. So once you save that image, you have the capability to add a sketch. So you'd pull in the image that you uploaded, and then you'd be able to point out certain things and do comments and all of that. Then you have an area where you can send these sketches and photos and notes and things like that by email. Then what you'll do is you will be able to view this service report that is generated with all the details. Well, so this is the output that gets sent automatically. And then one other thing that I'll mention is that there is a custom forms tool available too. So maybe you have certain inspection reports or meeting reports that need to happen. You can have those drafted reports here and require those or make those accessible to people out in the field so that they can stay up to date with those. They would be able to access a report template that's already been created, let's say for an inspection report, and they would be able to fill that out and then just bring the information in, basically. And then I will also, because Olivia did mention the map and what that looks like. So as people are clocking in and assignments are being worked on, I'm really the only one doing it, and I'm up here, so this is a recent activity. But, you know, with your technicians, you would be able to see within a certain area what's going on.
So as Leilani was showing you, if I'm in the software, in the accounting software, or if I'm using an online tool, either way, whatever I pull and drag over here, it's going to update that technician's assignments. So I can do it this way, or I can do it in the web application. Either one, it works the exact same way. Okay, so here's the information on this particular ticket. I'm going to go to this work order ticket. Okay, so on this particular item, they grabbed some parts here from my parts list. They put some information as to how much of that part they used. And then it's kind of created this billing for me. So now what I can do as I'm in the back office, I can now update this if I want to. So like, let's say I want to actually bill this out at $175. I can adjust that, and now it's adjusted here. And maybe I had a price increase for this customer, so I can change the different items that are being charged. If perhaps I don't want to charge customers for something, so maybe I don't want to charge them for that, I can remove it from the bill itself. It'll still show that my employee used these parts and that part was expensed to the job, but it won't actually show it on the billing itself. Okay. I can also add additional markups. So let's say I want to add, 15% markup to any of my taxable items, or maybe on everything I want there to be a 15% markup. It'll do that as well. Or I can do dollar markups also, or I can change, the billing amount as well too. Okay. I also have information. It's going to put in the invoice date for me, a due date, a discount date if I want to offer any. If this is part of contract work, then it'll pull that contract information into the billing screen here. If the customer has a PO number that they want you to show on your billing, you can enter that information in here. If you need to add sales tax, you pick what sales tax district that this location is in. This is also set up on the location when you set it up inside accounts receivable. And it has basic information here. Any attachments that Leilani showed you, they would all be listed in here, as well as the notes. So customer notes, and then the blue notes were your internal notes. Okay, so all that information passes through here. So then here, whoops, let me just, so here is an example of a service invoice here. So it's got all my different parts here. I've got my labor here as well. This one does not show the detail. It just shows the total amount due. But obviously, if I wanted to show the detail per individual part and how much for labor, I definitely could do that. You get to decide how much information you want to display in here. I can even show, any notes or any equipment. Maybe I worked on a piece of equipment for them, etc. Again, I decide how I want that to look and be presented. And as you can see here, it's very easy to change and modify the forms. Okay, I can just, move things around pretty easily. I can add things.